Hi, everyone. I am Nadia of Nourish by Nadia and Nourish and Thrive. Thank you so much for joining me for our weekly live. And today we're going to be talking about hydration. So let's see if you're here. I would love to, if you're watching this live on Facebook or if you're watching the replay later, uh, please say hi. I would love to hear from you and let me know what you think. And we'll get started. So today we're going to be talking about hydration. I know it sounds like such a simple thing, you just drink water, right? And people are always talking about drinking water, but it is actually such an important part of our lives. And I'm going to go over the incredible benefits that water has on our bodies. So we're going to be talking about how it relates to inflammation as well, and just some practical tips to stay hydrated. So let's dive in. So first, let's talk about the role of water in our body. So, water is not just a drink to quench our thirst, it is actually a vital nutrient. So, our bodies are actually made up of about 60% water, and water actually plays a key role in almost every bodily function. It helps in digestion, absorption of nutrients, regulating body temperature, and even in detoxification processes. So when we're properly hydrated, our cells actually function optimally, our joints are lubricated, and our organs, including our brain, work effectively. So how does it link to inflammation? So, I've talked about inflammation before. My membership, Nourish and Thrive, is actually, focuses on inflammation itself. Chronic inflammation is at the root of many health issues. So, but did you know that actually staying hydrated and throughout the day, every day can actually help manage and reduce inflammation. So when our bodies are dehydrated, our cells can't function properly, and that leads to an inflammatory response. Proper hydration helps in flushing out those toxins, and that can actually, if we have a lot of toxins in our body, that can actually contribute to inflammation, and the water flushes the toxins out. So you can see the correlation there. It also ensures that our blood has the right viscosity to flow smoothly and delivers nutrients and oxygen efficiently. And it also ends up ultimately reducing the risk of inflammation. And of course, we know that inflammation is the cause of all chronic disease, and disease in general. So let's go over some practical tips for staying hydrated. And it sounds, like I said earlier, it sounds so simple, but it can actually be really challenging. We live busy lives. We might forget to drink water at times because we're just so consumed with whatever we're doing, whether it's work, or anything else that we're doing in our lives. So the first tip that I would say is start your day with at least, I would say at least 8 ounces of water. Ideally, at least 16 ounces. But if you're just kind of starting off with drinking more water, I would recommend at least starting with 8 ounces. Um, and that's for first thing in the morning. Of course, the goal for throughout the day is 64 ounces of water, or 8 cups of water. Um, Now, another tip would be to try to keep a water bottle with you throughout the day. So for me, I always have water with me, all the time. I might just be sipping throughout the day, or I'll obviously, of course, like I mentioned, I'll have water. A lot of water in the morning. That's the first thing that I do. But also throughout the day, I will often have water with me at all times. Even if I'm going out, I'll often bring like a bottle of water with me. Um, and the other thing that I would say is I would definitely recommend that you eat hydrating foods like cucumbers, celery, watermelon. They have their own very high water content in them, and that will help you also stay hydrated, especially in the warmer months as well, or if you live in a warm climate year round. The other thing, if you have trouble making sure that you're drinking water, set reminders on your phone, or use an app to track your water intake. There are a lot of apps out there. If you have, for example, if you have an Apple Watch or a Samsung Watch, it has, a water intake feature, so you can actually when you let's say that you drink 8 ounces of water, you can track it. So you could do that throughout the day. And the other thing that I wanted to mention too is that herbal teas and infused waters are also really great options. Herbal teas do count as water. I myself drink a lot of herbal tea, whether it's green tea, different types of like herbs like chamomile, lavender. I drink a lot of different types of herbal teas. Um, and that does count towards your overall water intake for the day. So, how do you know if you're dehydrated? So, let's say that you're not really sure, you're not really tracking, you're not sure, if you're drinking enough water. Of course, the best would be to actually start tracking it. But here are some signs of dehydration. So, obviously, thirst. But there are other signs as well, such as dry or flushed skin, fatigue, mood fluctuations, maybe even headache or dizziness. Sometimes, if you have a headache, you might just be dehydrated. If you have some water, oftentimes the headache will eventually go away, sometimes very quickly as well. Um, and then also infrequent urination, if you have dark colored urine, and then also hunger. I know you may have heard this before. You may have heard that sometimes you might think your body might think that it's hungry, but it in fact is actually thirsty, and having some water will actually oftentimes quench or reduce that hunger because you're actually dehydrated and not hungry. So, hydration is as simple, yet it's such a powerful tool. When I work with my clients, that's the first thing that I always mention is make sure that you're drinking enough water. And it is really important in managing inflammation and just for your overall health. So I definitely encourage you to be more mindful of your water intake. Your body and mind are going to thank you. And if you have any questions, even later on, if you're watching the replay, definitely let me know and I will get back to you and answer all of your questions. But I hope this was helpful and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you soon. Bye.